Hi, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 2 of making the chicken bag. So in our first video we started off with the base. This is my sample. We are actually making it with different yarn, but in the first video we started at the bottom and we worked up to around here. So I will move this one out the way and bring in the one we are working on, and here it is. Now if you watch the first one, if you haven't, it will be linked to this one. And I've also created a playlist, so they'll all be together. I'm probably not going to do a lot of advertising of the videos until the whole thing's finished, because most people want all of it there. So we're just going as we're going. So this is after the end of the last video. I did the 10 rows of straight, and if you remember, it was all pringled up inside. It has now pretty much flattened out, and I've moved my marker up. This is my first stitch. So we have moved it up and it's all smoothed out. So what we need to do now, oh, by the way, the top row should have 92 stitches in it. What we need to do now is single crochet 10 and then do single crochet decrease. Now we are going to do an amigurumi decrease, which is different to a normal crochet decrease, and I will show you that. Other thing I wanted to say, this is my symbol on do this instruction all the way around. Okay, we are working in a spiral, so there is no joining of the rows. So I will show you that now. As I said, this is my marker for my first stitch. This is my active marker for the active loop. We take that out, and we need to do 10 single crochet stitches. The other thing I wanted to show you was amigurumi single crochets, and it's to do with how you pick up your yarn. So a normal single crochet is like this, where the yarn goes over the back of the hook, pull it through and pull it through. So that's a normal single crochet. This is what you also use if you're doing tapestry crochet, if you're doing mosaic crochet. It's a standard single crochet. Amigurumi crochet is different when you pick up the yarn. So instead of going this way, we go this way, where the hook is visible all the way, and we pull it in. It's pulled yarn under, and then we pull the stitch up. Now it does make a shorter stitch. It also makes a squarer stitch, but that is what you use for amigurumi. But either way will work for this project. So let's just do 10 single crochets. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we also remember going through both loops. 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now this is where it gets different. We are going under the front loop. Now remember, we're holding 2 strands, so make sure you get both of them. Pick up a loop. Under the next front loop, pick up a loop. Got 3 on the hook, pick up another loop, pull it through. That is our decrease. And the reason why we do it that way is because the loop we didn't pick up, which you can see here, falls through and covers that hole, so any stuffing that you have or anything in your actual bag doesn't fall out. As I said in the first video, you don't actually have to line this bag. This is why we're using this stitch. So I'm going to do it again. I've got to do another 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so there's our stitches, and you can't really see the decrease. It is there if you really look, but it's not a visible decrease, which is great. So we'll just do the second one. 1 and 2 and pull it through. So you need to do this instruction all the way around, and I will come back once I've done that to tell you what to do next. Alright, so I've done that row and put all my decreases in, and we ended up with 85 stitches left, but we had 8 stitches at the end, not enough to do another decrease. So you should have 8 stitches after your last decrease before you get back to the first stitch. So the next thing to do is for 9 rows we are just doing single crochet all the way around. And the cat's woken up, I'm sorry. So I won't show you that on camera because that's just going round and round in circles. But what I will show you is I'll move that out the way and I will go this way just slightly so you can see. Just check with my person, can see this? Yes? Okay. This is the eyes pattern from the chook before. And I thought I'll just show you how to do the eyes, or one of the eyes, so that you can do this in the meantime. So we're going to do a magic circle. So we're going to use 2 8-ply yarn held together, or you can use 1 12-ply. And I'm going to be using the same hook, which is a 6.5. But we've got to do a magic ring first. So you got your end, and you want to wrap it over your finger, right? And then you want to cross it. Hopefully you can see that cross there with the first one under it, the second one over it. So I turn my hand over. We're going under the first one and over the second one. Bring it around, pick up a loop, and then pull that through like that. Take your fingers out. Now what you're looking for is this tail to be over the top of this circle, and we are going to be working over this part here through the hole in the middle. All right, so our first instruction says to single crochet 6. We don't count this as a stitch, we count the first one we actually do as a stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. All right, so that's our first one. Now you pull this string here, this one here, the one that we made sure was twisted, and that's the magic part. Pulls it up really tight. Now if you remember, that's our first bit, this is our first stitch, and I'm going to do this as a spiral, so we are not doing a slip stitch join. We are going under both of these and moving on to the second row. Second row is we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around, which equals 12 stitches. Now I am going to put a stitch marker in my first stitch once I do it. So that's 1. Get my stitch marker. And you need to put this in that first V you just made, right there, through both loops. So we know where we started. Flatten this out a bit so you can see what you're doing. I'm sorry it's white if it's blowing out the screen, but that's what colour eyeballs are. So 2 all the way around. 1 and 2, both going into the same stitch. 1 and 2. I'm using the yarn from both ends of the ball, so it's coming back on the screen. Let me just pull a bit out. All right. So, a couple more to go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, last one is right here. 1 and 2. Now, what I like to do now, before I do anything else, it's not written on there, this is just what I like to do. Turn the whole thing over, find your tail of your magic ring, pull it as tight as you possibly can, and then tie a overhand knot, which is just going around like so. Do another twist if you feel like it, and then hold the end, put it down on this flat surface and pull it if it's going to cooperate. You want this to sit against the work. I'll show you there. Can you see that? That's just made a knot so it can't go loose. And that magic ring will stay closed. I will still, because this is going to be inside the eyeball, we probably don't need to do anything more with securing it. If it was on the outside, we'd have to do more. but we will be all right. So bring your yarn all the way back down. So we've just done that. So now we want to do a plain row of single crochet. Make sure you put this stitch marker back as soon as you've done the stitch. So we're not increasing on this row. These are just the eyeballs. You need to make 2 of these. I just thought I'd add them into this video so that it's not quite too short. All the way around. It will start curling up. That's all right. It's meant to. If you feel these eyes are too big, I mean, I tend to make cartoon eyes when I'm making eyes. Just do it with a smaller hook and a single lot of 8-ply yarn. It will make a smaller pair of eyes. The spool the yarn doesn't want to roll. All right, there we go. And that one. And that one. Because we are going to be stuffing it with white stuffing, these little holes here, they don't really matter because the stuffing is white and it's a very small object. So I'm just turning this out this way. And then the next thing you want to do is the next row, which is single crochet decrease times 6, which is bringing it back to 6 stitches. So every stitch here, we want to do single crochet decrease. So pick up the 2 like I just showed you earlier for the amigurumi decreases and pull through. That is our first stitch. So we put the marker back on and carry on. Now if this string gets in the way, the tail, just wind it up and put your finger on it. That should be fine. Alright, next one. You got to reach across for it because this is quite a distance between the stitches. 2 and 3 4 5 and the last one 6. And that is all you need to crochet to make the eyes. Of course, I got a knot in the yarn. And what I generally do is I just do a slip stitch into that first stitch, because after this what we do is we'll cut it off. Take that out. Stuff it pretty firmly, cut it off, and then just sew up the back any way you like. You're not going to see it, so I won't show you a particular way to sew it up, but make sure you put the stuffing in first. So you need 2 of these, which is another thing you can do. I might leave the video here because this is 9 rows. Once this 9 rows is done, we do the neck and the head, and that'll be all in the next video. So yeah, nice little quick one this time.